feel like I belong in the sea. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel and welcome officially to 2022. Whether it's happy or not, I will leave in your camp, although the wish is there for it to be a happy year, a good year. Whether or not it will be remains to be seen across the board. But yes, happy new year. Welcome to 2022 officially in the real world, not in The Sims. Just a quick disclaimer in case anyone did watch my last video. That is a fiction that I am creating as a wannabe simmer. It has similarities to my life, obviously, but anything said and done in my Sims videos are a game, just in case it's not clear. Anyways, today I'm in a mood. I'm filming this on a Wednesday. Wednesdays are always kind of weird. I saw something on social media today suggesting that we will have 4 Mercury retrogrades in 2022. So that, among other things, just kind of had my head, cat, you know, a little topsy-turvy. I'm tired. Getting back into work and back into kind of, you know, reality is very disorienting, especially after a significant break from all of that. So yeah, I'm feeling a little off. So rather than, you know, trying to do something very specific today with my makeup, I thought we would just have makeup playtime. I've got some stuff out here that I've sort of been playing with in my free time, but I thought it'd be fun for us to do together. And then I also wanted to talk to you guys about my 2022 word of the year. I know there's a significant number of people now that are subscribing more to this like word/theme of the year versus, you know, setting a whole list of New Year's resolutions like dry Januaries and we're gonna eat healthier and we're gonna get thinner and blah, blah, blah. I think I've said this multiple times, and this is a sentiment that is repeated consistently across the board, I think, in certain spaces, obviously not all spaces. But New Year's resolutions just kind of set us up for failure. Like, what is the point? Why do we kind of subscribe to this calendar year turnover? It's all very strange and like capitalism minded. But the word or theme of the year, I think, is a much more gentle approach. And at least for me, the past couple of years where I have taken that approach, it has just led to a much more satisfying and fulfilling year that leaves room and holds space for growth, rather than like setting myself up for failure by like, you know, just listing out these very high and almost impossible sets of expectations, which was, you know, kind of par for the course. It was a traditional mode of thinking for me personally prior to the last 3 years. I would kind of try and make New Year's resolutions, even though I vehemently was against them and they made me kind of sick to my stomach. But the past couple of years, going with a word or theme has been really, really helpful. So, you know, 2020, my word of the year was boundaries, and it was all about setting personal and emotional boundaries kind of in my process to start healing. I'm sorry, the cat has decided that now is the best opportunity to make noise and pick baskets and pull her food out of her bowl. So if you hear a little dinging and scratching, it's Cuthbert, just, you know, being a demon. Anyways, so 2020 was boundaries, and that was a huge part of a healing process for me. It was very important in terms of, you know, kind of learning to establish more of a work-life balance, but also just setting up boundaries in terms of relationships, and not really in the romantic space, because in 2020 I was not really doing any kind of dating or anything. I haven't dated in quite a long time, except for obviously the last couple of months. So there was a long stretch of time where I was just choosing me over, you know, that kind of relationships. But my relationships with myself, my relationships with my friends, my relationships with my families, and boundaries is something that I definitely carried into 2021. And after I kind of established some of my boundaries, I was able to just take what I had learned from that and bring that in. And, you know, I still very much feel that today and now. And then last year, I don't think I kind of declared my word of the year until around June. And if you guys recall, I actually did make a video about that. And that was kind of nuance and practicing nuance. And I feel like that was a again, a very appropriate kind of state of mind and theme for 2021 with all of the learning that was happening, I think, kind of globally, but also, again, just doing a lot of like inner work and self-work. And again, nuance ties so perfectly in with a sense of boundaries, because boundaries are nuanced. They're not always black and white, even though when you think about a boundary, you think of like a very definitive line. But I think there is a lot of nuance in how we establish our boundaries. And anyways, I'm also, you know, starting a no-buy in January. So there's like lots of things to talk about today. But before I get too much into, you know, the philosophy of it all, I'm gonna pin my bangs back and we're gonna just start putting on some makeup so that I can start just doing two things at once. So I am, like I said, just playing with makeup today. I'm just gonna play with my, not entirely new, but I haven't really used it on camera yet. It is the e.l.f. Earth and Ocean palette, which I find incredibly enjoyable. And even through the top here, I think you can probably see where I have been sticking my finger in and playing with that. This is definitely a palette that has made me happy over the last couple of months. But before I get obviously to the color cosmetics, I'm gonna start with some complexion. And today, for the first time in a while, I'm going to be using my Typology serum, and I'm using the shade 3. And I haven't used this in a while, so like, is this still an appropriate color for me? I don't know. I just poured a little bit out of my fingers. We're gonna go in. Honestly, it always looks in this light like a little bit too peachy for me. But I have also been feeling very like green. I've been feeling very green. You know, Kermit the Frog vibes. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if it's just like I've literally spent no time out in any kind of winter sunshine, or I've just been feeling extra tired, and I feel like my pallor really changes when I'm extra exhausted and stressed out. But either way, with that on my face, it does just kind of add a little bit of warmth, and not necessarily because of the color, but because of the tone. It just sort of helps to balance that green out, and I don't think it's such a dramatic change from my neck color. And really the beautiful thing about the Typology is that it is a tinted serum. It's not, it has coverage. Obviously I've got a couple blemishes going on, and I do really appreciate the way that that kind of just smooths out the whole skin tone and does some quick camouflaging for me. Then I'm gonna go in, I think because I did the tinted serum, and honestly the friction is causing me to go red. Why did I shake this? I'm just gonna go in with my Merit concealer stick in the shade Camel, mostly focusing under my eyes where I have been very pigmented and dark lately. I went from getting so much delicious and delightful and extended opportunities of sleep over the Christmas holiday to having the worst and shittiest sleep starting last week. You know, just work vibes, trying to get back into a regular schedule. The anxiety of having your workday ahead of you and knowing that it's going to be a super, super insanely busy year, and feeling emotionally prepared for that is just, it does not lend itself well to restful sleep. But, you know, it is what it is. We shall try. Also the cat, you know, if you know me, you know what an absolute demon creature Cuthbert is. And the past 2 weeks she has decided that 5 a.m. is an appropriate time to wake me up, sometimes earlier, because she's hungry and she currently has food that she despises. To which I say, too bad. Maybe it will result in you losing a few pounds. And that is a perfect segue to go back to the conversation about New Year's resolutions versus, or rather, themes / words of the year versus New Year's resolutions. And I have been, as I'm sure many people have been, hold on, I'm actually going to do my brows today. I'm just going to run the last remaining droplets of my Glossier Boy Brow in brown through my eyebrows, because why not, even though the bangs will inevitably come down. We're just using a product here. I've been trying to use this every day because it is literally almost done and it's just sitting there going bad. So I was like, I may as well. Even with so little in the component, it really does just add the right amount of fill and color At this stage though, there, like what's left in here, there isn't really enough hold. So if this was, you know, me doing my makeup to like go out or have meetings, or, you know that I have a busy day ahead of me, with this much left in the package, knowing that I was going to be doing stuff, I would probably soap brow them or like gel them a little bit just so that I could get hold and the fill. Anyways, New Year's resolutions. My cat needing to lose weight. Where was I going with that? Right. We are what? 12. I'm going in with my Lily Lolo bronzer now in Montego Bay. And guys, look, I've hit pan. I've hit pan on a number of products. And like, I know I say this all of the time, but it is so exciting. Like, what a satisfying experience. Ugh. So yeah, especially on Instagram. Instagram has really turned into just like an ad engine. That has been my primary experience with the app in the last couple of months. But especially since the new year started, I have been served so many weight loss ads, and like even on YouTube here. And it's like, I'm not even engaging with that kind of content. Why are you serving it to me? Like, obviously these are companies who are spending some big dollars to have their ads pushed out with like very wide nets, because I am not someone who like engages with weight loss or like diet content on the internet. I have really not been engaging with like fitness content. For a while there, I was like really heavily into like Mad Fit here on YouTube and like watching her exercise videos, but I haven't been doing any of that. So I'm just like, what about my online behavior is suggesting to you that I would even be remotely interested in ads about weight loss and like diet options? Like, no. I literally just put out a video about recovering from eating disorders. Kindly fuck off, you know? And I can't imagine someone who is, you know, struggling with that, getting served that kind of content on top of the existing pressure of it being the new year and like having all of these New Year's resolutions and, you know, the stress on top of that of still being in a pandemic and the gyms being closed, depending on where you are. They are closed again here in Ontario. And it's like, please just stop. Stop trying to take our money, stop trying to take our lives, and stop trying to take our souls. What are you, a dementor? No. So let's all just practice words of the year rather than New Year's resolutions, because you're perfect as you are. Do we all have the capacity to evolve and grow? Yes, but our bodies are bodies. And the thing that is the most important is our souls and our hearts and our minds. And our bodies will often follow suit when we are happy and content and like perfectly, or at least working on becoming more balanced inside, which is why words of the year or themes of the year can be a really helpful way to guide yourself through a new chapter, if that's kind of what you're going for. And like, if you don't have a word of the year, that's also fine. This is just what I have decided to kind of engage with for myself personally. I don't know how shiny I look, but my lips feel extra dry. Winter in Ontario. So I am just putting some of my Burt's Bees, what is this called? Overnight Intensive Lip Treatment on. It is glorious. I've also like quote unquote hit pan on this. This never comes on camera because it is my bedside table lip chap, but it was just the first thing at hand. Feels so good. And again, my lips are just so chapped, and my poor little nose is also incredibly chapped, and it's awful. Okay, so the eyes. Like I said, I'm going to go into the Earth and Ocean palette here, which aside from the black flimsy packaging is a really beautiful palette. That's upside down. Just a great range of colors. You've got cools, you've got warms, but I think as a Piscean, I was very drawn to this because it's gorgeous. So I'm just going to play. I think that's not the right brush. I'm going to take a fluffy brush here. This is an e.l.f. blending brush. Look at how cute, in my favorite color. And I'm going to go into the shade, I think, Desert Storm, this one right here. And as I continue talking, I'm just going to kind of put that into my crease, because it's like a greeny brown, like a really nice soft khaki color. Yeah. Okay, so my word for the year, I have decided, and this has been co-signed by my therapist. And, you know, I'm sure I'm gonna get some eye rolls here and like disconcerted feelings from folks perhaps, but this has everything and nothing to do with certain individuals, but I have decided that my word of the year for 2022 is going to be love. And go ahead, I'll give you a moment to roll your eyes as I now dip into the shade Mojave Mami, which is a stupid name for a shade because just why? And where Desert Storm is a matte, Mojave Mami is kind of a shimmer. Not really a satin. I don't know how you would describe it. I don't care, I'm not a professional. And I'm just gonna kind of go over Desert Storm so that it blends in with my skin a little bit more and takes down the slight yellow green. But I like that as kind of a shadow there. And then I'm going to take my ultimate favorite smudge brush from e.l.f. and I'm gonna go back into Desert Storm and Mojave Mami and run that on my lower lash line. Yeah, so the word of the year is love. And like I said, I talked to my therapist about this. She was like, sounds like things are going kind of well. And I was like, they are, I like it. And she laughed because like, duh, who wouldn't like it? Although I suppose, again, if you're a Pisces and you know a lot of Pisces, like we do have a tendency to prefer sadness and struggle and strife because we're, you know, but love is the word for this year. And I feel like coming off of boundaries and then nuance, love is actually very much a natural progression for the direction I have been going in thematically, because it's not just about external love. It's not just about, you know, being moony-eyed over a certain person, which like, yes, I am, okay, don't judge, it's lovely. It also has everything to do with me loving myself more and more every day, even though there are obviously, you know, hard days here and there. I want a little bit more definition on my lower lash line, so I'm going to go in with the shade Fuji Feels, which is kind of, it is very sparkly, and I would classify this as kind of like a, oh my god, I'm gonna be one of these people that can't actually describe shades, because do any of us actually know what colors are? No. Google any color and there's 400 different swatches. But I would say this is like a taupe that has some like earthy green in it, and it is very shimmery, but I did this earlier today, just on my lower lash line on the outer corner here, and I liked it. That might look really intense, but I like it. So yeah, it's about self-love, it's about external love, it's about love directed towards certain people, it's about allowing myself for the first time in years to just feel all of those feelings, the spectrum of those feelings without any qualms, without holding myself back. It goes back to my video where I was talking about the importance of being earnest and just unequivocally, unapologetically feeling the way you feel, holding space for yourself to feel the way you feel, and just simply enjoying those moments of those feelings without getting so caught up in like, oh my god, what if, what if, what if, what if, what if, like again, if you know me, and if you don't know me, hello, welcome to my brain. I can be extraordinarily fatalistic and pessimistic and constantly preparing for the worst case in every single scenario. And I'm still very much like that, and I'm sure that is a trait that will continue with me far into the future, like, and into probably my next lives. But again, I'm sorry if you can hear this, there's now activity in the kitchen. What was I saying? I paused, now I don't remember. I lost my train of thought. Anyways, basically just allowing myself to love and be in those moments and not holding anything back. And again, just, yeah, enjoying the feelings, enjoying the moments, and trying to be more present in the moments. And all of that has to do with love in one form or another. And I think a part of this is also giving my love and my affection more freely to my friends and family, which, not to say that I haven't been doing that and that I don't freely love and cherish those people, but coming out of, you know, a lot of various traumas for the past decade plus, in terms of like my personal life, my health, relationships, losing my father, all of these things, I was just so angry. And I don't know why I'm laughing. It's not funny. I still am very angry, and I still get flares of vicious, smoking hot anger. And I am learning how to kind of breathe my way through that, and also channel some of that into just creative writing, because there's been a few really like good pieces of writing that have come out of those feelings. Even if no one will ever see them, they're just, it's good and cathartic just to actually get that out of your body. Even if it doesn't verbally leave your mouth, it's still coming out. But I have been so angry and so hurt and so closed off from everything, including the opportunity to actually find love and be in love and find a relationship and manifest a relationship for myself, that number one, I obviously stopped looking. I was not even remotely interested in going down that road until recently. And even the situation that I stumbled upon in November, and the relationship I'm so fortunate enough to be in now, that was not necessarily the intention of my bittersweet activities online in the fall. You know, I have talked about that many times. It was feeling very hopeless, and I was just kind of entertaining the idea. And maybe it's that whole thing that people tell you, like I wasn't looking for it really, and then it just sort of happened. Anyways, I don't need to go down the whole thing. The whole point is that my word of the year for 2022 is love. But my therapist also said, as I was telling her about all of this, she was like, happiness. And I was like, oh, that felt really nice, because one of the things I have been working on in therapy since I started seeing this specific therapist is we decided that happiness was not my goal, because I have struggled so much with happiness. And if you, like me, have struggled with happiness, I just want you to know that you're, once again, not alone. This like generalized idea of being happy can often feel very impossible and like out of reach. And I also have a tendency to feel that people who are like happy all of the time are just out of touch, because like, why are you so happy? I don't trust you. So we had agreed many years ago, and it might not even be many years, but who knows with the COVID time, so just, you know, bear with me. We had agreed when I started therapy with this specific individual that happiness was not my goal. We were going to lean into just being content and contentedness. And I was okay with that. That seemed attainable, much more attainable than like happiness with a capital H. So I guess, you know, however many years later with her, she was like, no, your like word or theme of the year should be happiness. And again, in many ways, like happiness and love thematically are this, because it isn't just about romance. It's not just about romantic love and romantic feelings and romantic experiences. It's about you as an individual achieving happiness through loving yourself and loving the way that you move through the world. Again, being completely unapologetic in the way that you hold yourself and the way that you present yourself and the way that you allow yourself to constantly change and grow. Who am I? Who am I? Even in 2020, I would not necessarily have expected those words to come out of my life, because I was just so angry and so bitter. But this is personal growth, bitches. Personal growth. Okay, I'm gonna shut up. And I am going to finish off my eyes with a selection of colors from the ocean side. So I'm going to do a liner on the top with trenches. So that is going to be liner, and I'm going to do a wing. And then I am going to tip the wing with this next shade Underwater, which is this beautiful like shimmery teal. And then I'm going to do my inner line with this beautiful shimmery periwinkle called Siren. Love this. So pretty. And then we shall see. I might attempt the like inner corner little flick. I don't know. I don't watch Euphoria. I have never watched Euphoria, but I keep seeing people like do Euphoria inspired makeup or in honor of Euphoria. And in a way, aren't I also talking about a certain sense of euphoria in all of this? Maybe that's just what all of us should aim for. All of us should, you know, establish as our global theme for 2022 is euphoria. Let's experience some euphoria, whether it is self-euphoria, relational euphoria, environmental euphoria. Let's just feel good. I don't know. What am I saying? I'm going to zoom through this, at least one eye, and then I'll show you that, and then I'll catch the other eye up to speed if I like what I've done. And then we shall move on. And I will give you a brief overview of my January 2022 no-buy, because that's also something that's happening. And I do have a partner in crime on this one this time, so I'm hoping that it will make that easier, because so far it has been hard and it is only 2 weeks into January. So like, I need the camaraderie. Okay, let's zoom. Okay, the right eye is done. I had to add a little bit more concealer just because things got a little bit more messy and now it like feels bright, but like look at the difference. Sometimes I really forget how much of a difference makeup can make. I don't hate my face bare at all, or like semi-bare. Obviously this is not bare, but I don't hate myself without makeup. But then you see, you know, the like effect of a specific angled eyeliner or specific colors around your eyes, and then just a mascara. Wow, do I have big eyes? Anyways, I like that. I think that is pretty, but it's also subtle. Like it's not too over the top. It's just a little bit interesting. There's a little bit of an extra wing that I don't usually do on the day-to-day, but I really like that. And for mascara, I just used the e.l.f. Big Mood mascara again, which now that it's been several weeks has really come into its own as I expected it would. And it's just such a great, like dramatic, chunky mascara. I do miss my Ilia though. So when I am finished with the REM Beauty, I will be going straight back to the Ilia, I believe. And obviously keeping this in the rotation at all times because I just really, really like it. I'm going to go ahead and do my left eye, and then we will come back and figure out whether or not I'm going to add some additional sparkle and then put something on my cheeks and take a look at another new e.l.f. product that I picked up a few weeks ago and see if that vibes with the look. And then, like I said, we will talk about my no-buy just a teeny tiny bit. Okay, see you soon. Okay, both eyes have been completed and my bangs have decided that they just don't want to cooperate, so this extra swoop and dip on this side is just something we're gonna have to put up with. But I think the eyes look really pretty, except for this little crusty that fell down there. I think it's a very pretty eye look. Now, maybe I shouldn't have taken my bangs in white so soon. Just flip them over to the side. It's a great look. It's very something about Mary. I have also this e.l.f. I don't know. I've used this one a couple times. The liquid metallic eyeshadow. Hello. There we go. In Galaxy, but I have this one. It doesn't say that it's called the same thing, but I'm pretty sure it is. This one is Mermaid Shimmy. And look at how pretty. Can I ever hold these the right side up? Look at how pretty this is. Has a much chunkier glitter to it than the Galaxy shade. So if I blend it out, it's like really just kind of chunky sparkle, which is like what I want right now. So maybe I just do it. What is there to lose? It's just me. It's just me. This is makeup playtime. We make the rules here. I'm just blending that out with my finger in no particular order, but I do just like that that gives a chunky, ooh, thematic glitter to the eyes. Pretty. I feel like I belong in the sea. Ah, yes. Okay. Let's do cheeks. Now, I could just leave my face like this, keep the rest of the face very neutral, not try to head down the path towards Clown Town, but again, it is makeup playtime and I'm just feeling in the mood, and I also have a product here that I just need to use because it's way past its prime, it's way past its expiration date, and I haven't used enough of it, and I need to feel a little bit better about it before I decide that it indeed should head towards the garbage. And that is my beloved Kosas and Light Cream High Intensity in the shade 8th Muse. It's so old and I've only used that much, and like not any of the highlighter. I think I've said this before. I really wish that they would come out with these like 2 blushes because I'm not using these highlighters. And this is a very pink. This is a very pink. It's a very cool toned pink in comparison to what I often wear, but I really like it. So I'm just going to dab some of that onto my cheeks for a little extra flushy flush. Today, for no particular reason, I also put on freckles. I'm not going to do that tonight. It was a little bit too much today, especially because I hadn't showered yet. So, I mean, I think that's why I put on so much extra makeup than I needed to today during work. Because it was like, I haven't showered, I'm going to shower after work. Why not just go all out? And who's going to know? No one's going to know. And again, my Zoom camera kind of blurred it all out. I think the only way anyone would have noticed that I was wearing freckles and like extra makeup was if they saw my Instagram story where I was embracing the chaos of the day and biting into some toast. So if you don't follow me on Instagram yet, follow me on Instagram. I'll put my profile here. It's Alanna Joanne. Join us. There are many things that happen over there, including the resharing of shit posts, including a new account that I found called, hold on, because I'll link this here too because it's so good and so funny. And only one person laughed at the post I shared yesterday, which I found egregiously offensive. The account is called Chamber of Shitposts, and it is the official Instagram account for Harry Potter memes. And it is just, it's so good. It's so funny, and the one that I reshared yesterday was just, it really tickled my funny bone. And again, you know, love and happiness, we are going for joy. We're going for the bubbling giddiness that happens when something tickles you on the inside. And I don't mean sexually. Get your mind out of the gutter. You know, just, oh my God, I'm gonna be one of the, is someone gonna make a meme out of me and I'm all of a sudden gonna be the new like live, laugh, love girl? I don't want, that's, welcome to 2022 when Alanna has officially become a walking cliche. Love that for me. Anyways, I think that little touch of blush was actually not too much. It did not send me overboard. Bangs, just please cooperate. We're having a time. My bangs are in Mercury retrograde, you know? I'm gonna knock down the shine just a teeny touch on the tip of my nose. And I'm very, very dry under my nose. That has nothing to do with the makeup I'm wearing and everything to do with the fact that it's winter. I'm Alanna. My nose runs 365 days a year, but even worse when it's winter. And so, you know, chafing and dry skin and just, we gotta leave that. But I'm just gonna dip my finger into this Burt's Bees mattifying powder foundation. I use the shade Nutmeg, 1130 Nutmeg. This is very old. I just have never had the stomach to toss this. But every now and then when I have a blemish that just won't really go away or get covered, I just kind of dip my finger in this powder foundation and just kind of tap it over top of the spot that needs to be covered. It just like locks it in a little bit more. But I also do like to use this as kind of just a finishing powder that I use very lightly. And my face is feeling a little bit heavy right now. Sometimes the typology does that to me. I don't know if it's the skincare that I put underneath, but it does feel and look a little heavy right now close up, but just very lightly giving myself some powder. And then I'm gonna finish off with lips. But before I get to the lips, I'll talk about my no-buy. So as I mentioned, this no-buy is being attempted with a partner in crime, which I think it was important for me if I was going to retry this whole no-buy, because if you have been, you know, hanging out with me for a while, you know that I tried the no-buy in the summer and it wasn't a complete fail, but it didn't go quite as well as I had hoped. I did have a couple weak spots in there. I lost my resolve. I think it's because I wasn't really working towards a specific goal. It was just kind of a no-buy for the sake of doing a no-buy and trying not to spend money. But this time the goal is to actually reach a certain savings point with future intentions and like having someone doing this with you, and then you get to hold each other accountable rather than just having strangers on the internet attempt to hold you accountable, especially when you're not doing consistent updates and you don't have a huge community. So like this current way of attempting the no-buy is much more effective for me. But as I discussed the last time that I wanted to attempt a no-buy, my purchasing triggers, my little spending monster really flexes itself and rears its ugly head when I'm feeling particularly emotional. And you know, I'm not a happy spender. So if I achieve happiness, that may also lend itself really beautifully to like saving money. I am a negative emotional spender. So if I'm feeling very anxious or depressed or angry, the quick fix for solving that emotion in the moment, and I'm using this very specific language to really hone in on the fact that it is a temporary instant gratification type behavior. It has nothing to do with a long-term solution. We know that spending money is not going to make us happier, is not actually going to solve problems. It often creates more problems than we wanted to have in the first place. But getting back into work was really stressful, as I already mentioned. That has triggered some very particular anxieties. There's a couple other things going on this week and last that have triggered some anxieties. And you know, I have really had to use the willpower and just say, no, we have a specific goal. Can't spend. Our no-buy is already set up. It's already in place. It turned over with the new year. You have someone who you have to answer to for this no-buy. So don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You don't need more stuff. So the kind of parameters of this no-buy are pretty loose, or I guess rather than loose, they're actually pretty strict. Like the purchasing permissions, at least for the month of January, whether or not this gets extended is, you know, remains to be seen. But the purchasing restrictions are replacements and essentials. And like, then other permitted activities include like self-care, and within the category of self-care would be like, I had a massage booked on Friday. And not only is that, I think, an important thing for my health care and my self-care, it's also an expense that for me personally gets completely 100% reimbursed through my job. So that expense was allowed. I had also booked that appointment in December, so like gray area. But you know, if I need to go get a haircut, which I don't, but certain people need to get haircuts more often, haircut is permitted. It falls in that like self-care category. Am I gonna go get a manicure pedicure? No, probably not. My nails are never really in good shape. Would it be beneficial to probably get a proper manicure pedicure? Yes, but like it doesn't feel essential to me right now, and that's not something that is a part of my regular self-care regimen or regime, or however you want to pronounce it. So that's, for me personally, that's not on the list. And like absolutely no clothes, absolutely no homewares. There are a couple birthdays coming up, so gifts will be permitted, but will be budgeted. And then otherwise, yeah, so it's just replacements, essentials, which include groceries and bills and etc. You know, gas in the car. And then obviously if there are like any emergencies, emergency spending is emergency spending. I have a feeling there will be more car issues in my future, which I haven't really addressed here, but just there are lessons that have been learned from being a used car purchaser in my 30s, and it has been a costly lesson. Guaranteed I will have to spend some money very soon on that, but otherwise the no buy is pretty strict in these spending parameters, and I feel really okay about that because again I have this person to hold me accountable, and we are talking about our savings goals, and it's like there's just, you know, we have like individual cheerleaders because it's like, yeah, I just put this much into my savings account. Woohoo! Yeah, like it feels good. There is gratification happening there in a different way. You know, there are endorphin and serotonin and all the happy particle hormone things happening because it's not just me talking to myself in the mirror, slapping myself on the wrist if I've spent poorly. Instead, it's like rewarding and celebrating the achievements, which is a rare experience for me in terms of needing that because I am like so much of a loner. But I think that also is part of my like love theme for the year is in the space of love, in the permissions for love is also giving myself more space and grace for asking for help and, you know, accepting partnerships and accepting other people in my life in ways that are beneficial to me, which might be a weird way to phrase it, but I'm not very good at letting people do things for me, letting people help me, letting people fulfill certain needs that I have. I have spent so much time doing everything really for myself and not letting people in even when they are ready and willing to like help fulfill those needs and like be that person that like is intellectually stimulating or is, you know, romantically stimulating or physically just makes me feel good. I have been very bad at permitting enough closeness and trust really for those people, but it's also, you know, comes back to a self-love thing. And so much I think of my self-love anyways is realizing that, you know, I can't do everything for myself. Like who am I trying to prove anything to? I know that I'm perfectly self-sufficient, but it's also, again, giving myself the space and the grace and the permission to want those things for myself, to want someone around to make me happy, to make me feel good, to want a friend to confide in, to talk to want someone to play with, to want to just have simple, pleasant, funny moments with my mom. Yeah, just like little things like that. So again, that's another little facet of the thematic love that we are aiming for in 2022. And if any of this is resonating, I genuinely hope that you kind of join me in the love journey for 2022, because I think after the couple of years that we've all had collectively, that is one thing that we need more of as a collective, as global citizens, as, you know, communities, and just even groups of diverse and divided people. There hasn't been a lot of outward pouring love in a long time, and that probably sounds like so woo-woo and like wishy, and like, guys, I am a Pisces, you know, head in the clouds, little romantic in all aspects, but again, for 2022, I'm just getting back to allowing myself to be that, be the little love bug, because life is too friggin' short to not, and it just feels nice. It just feels like such a relief. So much weight has been lifted off my shoulders just in quiet moments with myself, saying it's okay to do that. It's okay to feel this way. It's okay to let yourself literally just be in that state of love. Again, whether it is romantic or platonic or just universal. It's so precious and delicious, and it is complex, but it is also so simple. And yeah, that's just what it's gonna be. And we will, I'm sure, touch base on this topic throughout 2022 together, but that is just a lot of exposition on a very simple thing I could have said in probably 5 minutes. Anyways, we're gonna wrap this up as soon as I pick a lip color. And what I have here with me are 2 shades of the new e.l.f. Why do they not list the product name? And it's the new e.l.f. lip oil stains. I will list the proper name in the description box down below, along with all of the other makeup I put on my face today, but I got 2 shades, Basic Beige and Spicy Sienna. And I was excited about the idea of a stain that didn't come with a huge dollar sign attached to it, especially because, you know, unfortunately masks aren't going away anytime soon. And I have been really into kind of more lip colors the past like 6 months or so, and that is just really not compatible with masks. So I would love to see more stains arising at varying different price points so that, you know, we've got a range of things to choose from. There is a little window here in the component so you can kind of see the colors. This is the beige one. What is it called again? Basic Beige. So just like a nude, and then Spicy Sienna. I'm gonna put Spicy Sienna, I think is too much color. I'll swatch it on the back of my hand though. I think it is just, you know, too much color for the look that we're going for today, but I do really like it and I do prefer it to the beige, and I will show you and explain to you why. So the beige is swatched there. So Basic Beige, Spicy Sienna. It might behave a little bit differently because I still have that Burt's Bees on my lips, and my lips are now very well moisturized. But it adds just the Basic Beige, for me at least, on my specific tone of lip color. It's nice, but the texture of this product is very weird. It's very slippery. And for whatever reason, this specific color, like many other pigmented lip products, does not stick to the inside of my lip, which is just normal for me. I don't know, I guess I have a very wet lip. But as I talk and as I move my lips and as I kind of like rub my lips together, this shade specifically, again, like the product starts to build up and do that like gross inner line thing that we all hate and we all hate to see. And does this one leave a stain? So hard to tell because it's so close to my lip color, so like probably it's not a very good example. I'm not entirely a fan of the texture, but even just like blotting it off, it did leave a little bit of color. So I think the stain properties certainly work. And look, even I rubbed the product off and there is definitely a stain to it, which I appreciate. So once the weird texture kind of disappears, and it's more evident with the Spicy Sienna because obviously it's a deeper pigment. It has more of a red tone. So there's more of a contrast with my natural lip color versus the like beige color. But yeah, they're okay. For like $4 or whatever I paid for it, I'm not mad. It's just the strange, very slippery, oily, gummy almost texture is not my favorite thing ever, but I will definitely continue to play with them. And even just that little bit, that little touch of color on the lips, like barely there, I'm perfectly happy with. And I think this look is super cute. If only my bangs were cooperating a little bit more. But I like this. I like what we accomplished with this little makeup playtime. It's really making me wish that I had somewhere to go and like play and put on more than just a cute little cream poofy sleeved sweater. I would love to be able to like throw on a gorgeous or like super sexy dress or just like something really sleek all in black and have fun makeup like this and do my hair all curly and just go, I don't know, and dance maybe. Like, I feel like that would be so fun, but at the same time, that's not gonna happen. We're gonna be here in our houses for a while yet, I think. And you know what, that's okay too, because once a week at least I get to hang out with you guys, and I hope that, you know, my videos are some little bright spot in your week. That is everything for me today. Quick recap. We've started a 2022 no buy, at least for the month of January. We're going to see how it goes. My word / theme of the year for 2022 is love / happiness, but more with an emphasis on love. And again, I hope that you will join me in that. If you have yet to kind of determine what your year looks like, let's all embrace love. And I had fun playing with makeup with you, and I hope that you did too. If you're new here and you made it all the way through this video, thank you so much. Hi, hello. I would really love for you to join the Land Fam, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. I post videos once a week and once a month. One of those videos is a gaming video. I am currently doing a challenge in The Sims 4. It is the Alphabet Legacy Challenge. It's fun, it's chaotic. If you're into that kind of thing, I highly recommend you check those videos out. I will link them. And yeah, for the rest of you, my subs, everyone who's already in the Land Fam, I love you guys so much. I appreciate you being here as always, and I will see you the next one.